Docker is one of the best ways to have a consistent environment across multiple computers, but for new and maybe even not so new developers, it can be hard to understand and set up. Thankfully, the Laravel team has created Laravel Sail to make Docker a much easier tool to use when we're working on Laravel projects. In this video, we'll discuss what Laravel Sail is, how to install and configure it, and then go through some common tasks. Hello developers and welcome to the PHP Architect channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Scott Keck-Warren, and on this channel we discuss a wide variety of topics related to the PHP ecosystem. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe so you can get our latest videos when they're published. To start at the beginning, the Laravel Sail library provides a lightweight command line interface for interacting with Docker development environments in a Laravel project. Sail provides a starting point for developing a Laravel application using PHP, MySQL, and Redis without requiring us to learn Docker or most of its complex processes. Sail provides a Docker compose.yaml file and a Sail script. The Sail script provides a command line interface with methods for interacting with the Docker containers that we've created using the Docker compose.yaml file. To demo how to use Sail, we're going to create a new Laravel project. This will require that you have Docker and Docker Compose installed or Docker Desktop. You'll also need Composer installed either locally or globally. If you have questions about this, please see our videos about Docker and Composer respectively. If you're adding Sail to an existing project, you just need to run Composer require Laravel Sail --devel. We're going to create a new project using PHP composer.par create project Laravel /Laravel, and we're going to call it example app. Then we're going to cd into example app. After this has been completed, we need to install Sail into our project using PHP Artisan Sail install. As part of this, we get to pick which services we want to install. There are database providers like MySQL and Postgres and Maria, and there's also key value stores like Redis and Memcache, as well as other more complex processes. We're just going to use MySQL as part of this process. Then Sail is going to create the files that we need and then start building our environment. We're going to fast forward so you don't have to look at all the output. When we get to the point where it says Sail build successful, we'll know that everything completed successfully. If we looked at what changed in our project, we can see that a Docker compose.yaml file was added and the PHP unit file was changed. The PHP unit.xml file changed the database that we're using. So instead of using an SQLite database, we're using the testing database. If we look at the Docker compose file, we can see that there's a service for Laravel test, which is providing our web front end. There's a MySQL service, which is providing MySQL services. And we also have a Sail network to communicate between them and a volume for MySQL to persist the data as it resets. Now, to interact with Sail, we need to run vendor bin sail, but that's a lot of typing. So we're just going to set up an alias to make it easier to work with. And this I'm going to copy and paste directly from the Sail documentation. To get the environments up and running, we're going to run sail up. Now if we go over to our web browser and go to the IP address for that host machine, we can in fact see that we get a Laravel project. In order to stop Sail, I'm going to run Control-C, and it will stop all the containers and do cleanup for us. So the way that we ran it using Sail up requires us to keep the terminal open to keep Sail running. But what if we don't want to do that? We can run Sail in detached mode using sail up-d, so it will continue to run in the background while we do other tasks with the same terminal. And then in order to shut it down, we're going to use sail down. So because we're running our Laravel application inside of a container, we need to also run our Artisan commands inside the same container. To do this, we can run sail artisan and then whatever command we need, which is going to open a connection to the container and then run PHP artisan and then the command. For example, we can run our migrations.
Eventually, you're going to need to access the running container to perform some kind of troubleshooting or whatever. To do this, we have two options. The first is to run Sail shell, which will create a shell for us inside of the container as the Sail user. We can also run Sail root shell to create a shell logged in as the root user. We'll have more about Laravel Sail after this word from our sponsors.
PhpStorm is a cutting-edge IDE tailored specifically for PHP and web developers. If you haven't used it before, or it's been a while since you've last tried it, now is the perfect time to check it out. PhpStorm has recently received significant performance enhancements and has an ever-expanding feature set. I'm a recent convert to PhpStorm and I love it. One of my favorite features is the ability to search across the entire codebase for a class or a function name and then just jump right to it. Curious to see if it's the right fit for you? Head over to jetbrains.com/phpstorm to learn more and try it out with a free 30-day trial. Code smarter, not harder.
If you use Sail shell to access the container, you're going to quickly notice that it's devoid of tools that would help us troubleshoot the problems. And we might need additional packages for our application anyway, so we have to fix that. To resolve this, we need to publish the Sail files using Sail Artisan Sail publish. This creates several directories and files inside of the Docker directory. If we look inside of our docker composer.yaml file, we can see that we're running version 8.2. This is explained by the context :docker/8.2. To add additional packages to our container, we're going to edit docker/8.2/docker file. This file is quite lengthy, but what we're going to do is we're going to browse down to this section that starts out with the apt-get install command. And we're going to add a new line and say we want to add vim with a new line. We're going to save, and then we're going to have Sail rebuild the containers. One of the amazing parts about Docker containers is how easy it is to swap one container for a completely different container. Sail comes with Docker files for 8.0, 8.1, 8.2, and 8.3, so we can very easily switch between them. To do so, we just need to edit our docker compose.yaml file again. And on this line, change 8.2 to 8.3. Then we're going to run Sail build and Sail up again. And again, we'll skip to the end. Now we can run Sail up again to start our containers. And if we refresh our browser, we can now see that we're running PHP 8.3. So maybe you're not ready to update your servers just yet, and you need to go back. We can easily switch the context back to the 8.2 directory, and it'll really quickly build that machine back up because all of the actions have already been cached. As a recap, Laravel Sail provides a lightweight command line interface for interacting with Docker development environments. It's highly customizable, and it allows us to quickly spin up a development environment and get ourselves working. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, make sure you subscribe, comment, share, and like, as it does help others find us. Was this video helpful to you, or do you have questions about it? Let us know in the comments section below, or send me a message at ScottKeckWarren on phpc.social. We would love to hear how we can help you, and I always love to hear from a fan. This is Scott Keck-Warren for the PHP Architect channel signing off, and reminding you to keep watching, keep coding, and keep reading.